Hi, it's David here with Futures Trading. I'd like to welcome you to the channel. We got the must-watch list here. You're more than welcome to take a look at all of this information. A whole lot of content here for you. Then, if you've never read a chart before, you'll definitely want to start here. And this is the universal threshold, how far the bar will pull back before it resumes. That's the price action trend. I do not use any kind of prior structure breaks. I count the bars, and that's important. The universal price action method, a bar and a bar and a half, be able to get it in real time and know that it should keep continuing on. The universal chart scale. So from left to right, I teach you where the market can potentially turn using your bezel. So you don't have to look hindsight and look left a lot of times. All right. So DTT suite of indicators. This is available to those who want a professional's opinion on your chart. You don't need it. Everything that you would need is actually here, but I am providing the tools. So if you need just an assist, having me over your shoulder looking at the price activity, some other content that I know being plotted on your chart, it's available for you for 200 bucks. All right. So did a couple of videos here, and we're going to be going over pretty much the plain chart with the universal approach. So we're going to touch on all four of these universal concepts really quickly, and then we're going to capture it at 9:30 and just kind of look at the tools. We'll take a look at news and what it did at 8:30. All right. But let's take a look at before they kind of took off to the upside with that news. Let's just take a look at that. So we had the trend here. All right, so this is the trend. They made the distance of the trend. They absolutely did that. No prior structure breaks. So you had your trend set here on this bar, and they didn't break any structure up here. So nothing to the upside, and you had a trend set, and they made that trend distance. And that's why I want to make sure that I tell you, when you're looking for a trend, you don't need all of the other components. It's just how they print the bars. Sometimes they can give you a trend without breaking structure. So I don't want you to be taken by what people may say is significant. Allow the market to tell you that. That's really important. Okay. And even with what I'm sharing with you, allow the market to reiterate everything that I'm telling you. All right. Make sure that it's saying it to you before you go with what it is that I'm introducing. We have the threshold of the bar. This is the threshold of the bar. And what we would look for is that this bar here would trade into it and then continue up. Now, once it continues up, once it dives in there and begin to move back out, you'll want to try to get the mid of the live bar above the bar's high. Really important. Same with this one here. When the live bar is moving, you want it to pull into your threshold, okay, and then continue on. Once that happens, you want to see that mid fall beneath the bar's low. Okay, so we touched on the trend, which was the uptrend. I just showed you that. No prior structure breaks, and you just need 7 bars closing higher than the first bullish bar. Really important. To the downside, we can go ahead and kind of outline that as well, and then we're going to talk about that chart scale. So that's 1, that's 2, 3, 4, 5, and they all have to be lower. Okay, and this is 6, and that is 7. So what you would do is you would take the measurement of the 7 from high all the way, from the high all the way down to the low or the close, whichever one you prefer. You can go with the close. It's not a problem, but you can go with the low as well. You can do both. Let's go here and let's just do this. And then we're going to take a look at some other information. All right, so and then you get that same distance, all right, and you can go here and do it again. Okay, and then that should tell you pretty much how far they plan to travel. Now, hopefully they'll get to this distance before I get off of here. I want to make sure that you're able to see all of this information, and you just plot that on that 7th bar. Now, they can do it off the center of the trend. They can do that distance off the center of the trend. I don't know if they'll get back up here. They may, I don't know, but they may not. And so if they won't, I'm going to go ahead and just go off that 7th bar. And we're going to capture that 9:30 and see what that looks like. All right, so let's do this. And so this is the center of the trend. So that's the center of the trend, and we're aiming for this distance. Now, they can very much do that distance from above here. Okay, they can. They already pretty much made it from the area itself. However, once they set the trend, that's what you're expecting them to do. And that should put them down at that 2010, well, 2010. Let's go here. Let's do this. Let me just kind of throw this in here. Let me throw this in here. Yeah, I got, okay, I got the right one. All right, right, so yeah, let's just throw that in there, and then we'll come back and take a look at it. But keep that price in mind. Should I forget, just keep that price in mind. That's where we should end up landing by the, I guess, the end of this video. Hopefully we can get there. All right, so let's talk a little bit more about this information here. So we did the uptrend. I pointed out to you the uptrend. I just did the downtrend for you. And this is what you're looking for. Whenever you pull up the chart, you're looking for just this information here. Now, that scenario is actually showing up with the mid. That blue line is falling beneath the bar's low. All right, there's the level. Now, with the indicators, all right, now I got the information up here. I got the pressure up here. That's the no touch, no close. This is the universal approach. There's the no touch, no close pressure for the top and the bottom. Okay, well, the bottom and the top there. And then I got the levels. I don't have the bar color and all of that in there because I want to make sure that we cover the threshold of the bar. But you can get the bar color. You can actually have a lot of stuff with it. You can have the volume text. I got that in the header up here. So you can have volume text with it, the levels with the NC, all of that information you can actually have with the indicators. Now, that's the scenario. They're in the lower portion of the chart. So they're in the lower region of this chart. Can they continue down? That's what we want to know. Can you continue down? Let's count our bars. It's not set 7 to the upside yet. It's not. But they may want to climb up a little bit higher. I do believe this lowest week and they can get through it. But let's just see. 1, 2, 3. They got to be higher. Let me move this arrow out the way so I can see what's going on. That's not higher. So 1, 2, 3, and that's 4. So that's only 4 higher. Okay. We need 7. All right. So we need 7 in total. I don't know if they're going to make that, but let's see. Let's see. I do know that this bottom is not it. So they can possibly get through it. However, they did rotate from the threshold. So here's the threshold here. Okay. They pulled into it. They pulled into it and they begin to turn to the upside. We have the threshold here as well. Okay, we have that threshold here. They kind of overshot this one by a tick or so. All right, so they kind of overshot that one. But let's see if they can continue down. Let's just see. Let's see if they can continue down. When the scenario shows up with the no touch, the pressure will go off and alert you to that information. Or that blue line, you can just watch that blue line, and if it falls beneath the bar's low, okay, if it falls, it's doing it, and there's the pressure. If it falls beneath the bar low, okay, then that's that scenario. A level should pop up here. Okay, a level should pop up here. Now, if you use the other functions, you'll have the bar color that'll color this bar with the hard stop. It'll color that bar, and then an E and C will pop up above this bar. And if you're using a volume, the volume text would show up here. All right, so but I got different functionality because you may want to use other indicators and not have the this particular text showing up on that bar. So just wanted to provide a little bit of different flexibility with that information. All right, so they're coming back down here. Now, I do believe they'll get through this low. I told you that. I do think that they'll get through it. They may want to rotate back up here, maybe at 9:30, just come back through this area. I don't know, but we're expecting them to move a lot lower. So that's the universal approach there. Now let's see if they'll pull into, try to do this for about 10 minutes with you, and then we're going to go to the other charts. Let's see if they'll pull into here and then continue down. Let's see if they'll do that. They're hitting this threshold. Let's see if they'll rotate up and then keep going. They may not want to. They may want to just keep continuing down without pulling back into this area. But let's just put that there because this is all you're looking for. It's really simple. Trading is not hard. I'll have you know that. That's the goal of the channel, is to teach you how to trade. And you don't need a whole lot of stuff on your chart. It's really simple. Now I'm going to show you a lot of stuff on the chart. I'm going to do that, but I have you know, let's start here. Let's start here where there's really nothing there. We're just looking at the chart scale. You know, this is what we did. We looked at the chart scale and said, hey, the location makes sense. We're just waiting for this information here because when the bar starts, it's going to kind of do the back and forth. That's all. It's going to do that back and forth. And when it does that, before it takes off, typically they're going to fall right into your universal threshold. And it'll work on any market, any time frame. Notice how they push through. They push through, but they haven't closed outside of here yet. Now, I do suspect that they may want to do that. If they'll do it, I told you I believe they'll get through that bottom. So I don't foresee them not wanting to. Now, see, the bar did the back and forth. There's that threshold. Okay, the bar did the back and forth above it, but it's not closing above your threshold. That's important. So let's see if it'll just continue down. Really important. Simple stuff too. It's simple. It's not complicated. Here's your level. Your level popped up on the back of the bar. Now, what I want you to do, now this is something I really prefer that you do if you're new to trading and you're just getting started. I want you to go for the distance of that bar. That's it. So even though it's a 2 bar pattern, and yes, I have indicators for single bar plots, 2 bar plots, 3 bar plots, a lot of functionality. You'll see some of it. I want you to kind of, again, just pace yourself to go for that bar's distance. See if you can get that to happen. Now, the pattern started from up here. Okay, it started from up here, and in real time, if you rewind the video, you could have easily, let me grab this if I can, see if it'll let me. You could have easily went for the distance of this once that starts showing up. All right. Okay. You could easily, it did that in that bar with two, 3 times. Okay. So that would have been easy. This one, let's see if it can make the distance of this. Now, it may just want to pull up. It's a break of a new low. That's important. I want to tell you that. I want to tell you that that's important. Did they break this low? Yeah, they broke it. They broke it by like a tick. So they may want to pull up. So this right here may cause a problem because they broke that low. So they may want to lift up. But they're pulling into the threshold. All right. So they're pulling into that threshold. Let's see, can it just come right back out of there and then still offer you that distance? All right. Now I know it's a 2 bar setup and it's a little bit of risk there. I get it. But the goal is to do it when it makes sense. All right. Probably not at a break of a new low or a break of a new high. It's not to say it can't work, but I want you to make sure that you put all things in context. Just make sure it makes sense. All right. Break of a new low, break of a new low or high could potentially cause it to rotate more often than not. I want to go ahead and say that to you. So it may want to rotate back at you before it continue on. So don't be too concerned about it unless it does, something that's important, which is the information that I'm showing you. So if it breaks the new low and they form, you know, these thresholds and don't want to get back down, okay, say, okay, well, this can potentially cause an issue. Now, let's see if they can get back through this one. Let's see. But we have this one here, and they managed to overshoot this one here from this bar. They pushed through it. They did push through it. Okay, from this bar, they pushed through it, but they didn't want to continue down. This one here, they overshot it. They're not closing beneath it. Let's see if they'll just do it on this bar. Let's see. Let's see. We don't want it to come back up and start, wanting to head back north. We don't want that. Let's see if it'll just go ahead and continue down. All right. It's all about reiteration. If they do it too many times and don't want to break down, that can be a problem. Let's see. Let's see how it works. But if they want to go down, if they want to go down, they shouldn't break this bar. That's important. They shouldn't break this bar, and they should give you that distance. They're hitting this threshold here. Okay, they're in it. They're not closing beneath it, but we're not getting that drop. Okay, we're not getting that drop. We got to see what it is that they plan to do with this information. We're still expecting that target. Okay, we're still expecting the target. Let's see what we can do about it. Okay, so that's a couple times they've done it, and they're not wanting to get down. Now they're again they're opposed to move back down. They're opposed to do that. They really do. But we're gonna just wait. Give it a second. They didn't quite get to this threshold. They didn't, but they got close. They got close enough. Close enough, I think. But let's see if they can go ahead and do it here. I know again this threshold right here is really causing a problem. All right, so this may cause a deeper move back up. Read the market. That's all you have to do. Read the market, slow it down. You don't have to listen to me. Listen to the market. That's the whole purpose of me putting this information in front of you, because I want you to be able to read the market. Read it. It's literature. That's all it is. It's nothing but information. Not in the form of letters, but yet high, open, low, and close is just reference points. Information is something to retain. So you have to retain information. So this is something that you'll want to just take a look at, assess what it's telling you, because it's actually saying something. And you got to know what that is. That's all you have to do. You have to know what it is that it's saying to you. And so this is important whenever they do something again. And again, that's reiteration. That's how you retain any kind of literature or information for that point. You have to listen to it when it repeats the same message, when it says the same thing. Listen to it. Trading is not difficult. I want to make sure that you understand that. It's really simple. All right, so the threshold of that bar was causing a problem just for them to reach up just a little bit higher. Okay, so they didn't want to get through it at first. Now let's see if they'll do it from here. Let's see. They pulled up a little bit closer. We're still expecting this if they want to move down. We're beneath the lower part of the chart, so it still can potentially work. It can, but you want to make sure that you're paying attention to what it is that they're saying. They pull right back into this threshold, but they haven't closed beneath it. Let's see if they'll pull into this one and continue down. Let's see. And we got 9:30 coming in roughly about 6 more minutes. So we're gonna go to the other charts. But I want to start here. I want to make sure that you're able to read this because it wouldn't make sense for me to show you the other tools and indicators and you don't know how to read the chart. I want you to read the chart. And then once you get a handle on how that works, my tools filter out which one I think is more superior than the other when it comes to the patterns. Okay. So, okay, this, because it's going to show up all over the chart. This universal approach is all over the chart. You can't ignore it. It's there. And it's been happening for a very long time, very long time before anyone started you wanting to promote this information as far as, how to trade. Okay. That's, remember, electronic trading wasn't always here. It wasn't always available to the public, but markets was being traded. All right. So it's simple. It's not complicated. That's all I want to tell you. It's simple. And so I'm trying to visually make sure that you can see what was already available to us all once electronic trading was being offered online. All right. This information, it's always been there. All right. So they tested here, fell out of it, but they doubled down into here and now they're coming back. So this is your range. So if you're looking for where is it that the market will, I don't know, potentially overlap, kind of turn cyclical, if you will, just within a tight range, this can give you an idea. This can give you an idea. That's all. So we have an extreme here after the break of the low. Before doing so, okay, we haven't made that distance here. So this is an extreme as well because it's saying when it made this move, okay, when it created that pattern, that it could want to land here. That's what the market is saying to you. However, it's creating the same scenario here. Okay, it's creating the same scenario here. Now, if that be the case, let's do a projection on that as well. Okay, so we would take the distance of here. And again, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether we're going up or down. The market is capable of doing both. Okay, so what we would do, and that would put them up here. So that's not exactly what we want. That's not exactly what we want. We don't want them guys up there. We just don't want that. So let's see if they can go ahead and continue down. All right. So now they're referencing this threshold and they're doing it several times. It's reiteration. You want to see reiteration in the chart. You want them to keep telling you the same thing. All right. Now let's see if we can make our distance. We're still beneath the lower portion of the chart. Still beneath the lower portion of the chart. This is important. Very important. The location matters. The information that they're providing you matters with the no touch, no close. We don't want this bar's mid to touch that bar's high. We want it to move away. Okay, we want it to move away from it. All right, so we're almost there, and then we're going to take a look at the other information. Just want to be with you for just a little while longer. Just want to give you some more content to go with. They're almost here. It's pretty close. It's 9:27. You got the time right here as well as the value of the bar. Okay. That's another break of a low. Okay. So we do know when it does that, it'll rotate. That's what it does. It just absolutely does that. So you got to just be mindful of that. That's all. Be mindful of it. And let's see, can it get here? Been trading professionally for a very long time. I have you know that. Ran my company online, took it off. Don't want to be in the space, but I do want to give you guys something. Those that need help. There's people that need it, And so I hope you're one of them and you're listening to me. I hope that you'll pay attention to what it is that I'm exposing you to. Trading is very simple. It's not complicated. And these tools come with your indicator suite. So if you want, of course, the functionality of the threshold that's on the bar, you can have that. Absolutely, comes with the indicators, the levels, and all of that. So they're doing it again. All right, so they're reaching in here, and they're not wanting to break past. Okay, so they kind of been doing this for a little while here. They're reaching in this threshold too, but let's see. Let's just see. I think it's this one here that's most important because they went in there 3 times. That's important, and they fell out of it. So let's see if they can hold that and maybe go ahead and get here. All right, so 929 is coming. We're going to go ahead and take a look at this other information. This is the news and what it looked like. It had spiked down right into the lower portion of the chart, became cyclical right off the mid of the chart and decline. All right, so now let's take a look at real time. Let's do this. This is all the stuff that will be included should you want to have the suite. It's almost 9:30, so let's go ahead and take a look at this. Same information. All you got to do is rewind the chart. Now we have the tools. So now we're going to put some tools on top of this stuff. What you're seeing here with this zone, okay, with the zone above and beneath the bar is the map. So that's the DTT map. Okay, it's telling you where the bar possibly won't close. It will not close. Most often than not, it won't close. All right, so here come 9:30. Let's see what they plan to do. And we'll talk about the other information that you're seeing because there's other indicators and stuff that you're looking at here, and we'll talk about that in just a moment. But I want to allow 9:30 to kind of play just a little bit. So they would have made the target because remember that target was just slightly beneath that low. All right, so let's get you a snapshot of that so you can see it because they would have made it. Okay, see, they would have made that. All right, so they made it. They wouldn't have stopped you out. All right, so let's finish looking at this here. Now, when it comes to the hourly, so I got the hourly here for you. All right, and I know you see that zone on it. I drew this yesterday. All right, I drew that yesterday in yesterday's video. You can go back and take a look. That was in the video here. I drew that zone, told you if the market was going to go down, they should do it from up here. All right, now let's go over some of the information that you're currently looking at. So I have some pressures here to kind of just help you time the market if you want to try to time the market. Right here, I got the bias pressure, and all of this stuff is in your indicator list. And you would be provided this workspace as well as all these templates, all right, except for this one here. This one here, this is the big trade stuff from the MZ Pack people. I don't have a capability of coding something to this degree. I don't. I've coded everything else you're seeing. I've pretty much done that, except these static levels and the ranges. I didn't do that. But all the indicators that you're seeing on this chart here with all the arrows, the pressures, the bar color, even my 1 second chart. So this is my 1 second chart. All the indicators you're seeing in here with the bar color is different than the information that's on this chart. It's different. It's 1 second information, which because the fluctuations are a lot tighter, I had to code it according to the fluctuations inside of that 1 second, what it does, how it behaves. And so I got range chart information too. So if you someone that like range charts, I got range chart indicators as well. So I got it for the 1 second, which would help you with your timing. If you're having issues with your timing, I got indicators for your range charts. And so if you again, want to trade range charts, I got that for you as well. But this is the pressure. These 3 rows of arrows, there's 3 rows of arrows that's here. They're calculating 3 different things. Now, from bottom to the top in this particular frame here, in this 1 minute, this is just a 1 minute chart. I have the 1 minute, the 5 minute, the 15 minute, and the hourly. And again, you'll be provided this template. Now, in the corners here, and in the left corner as well, and in the center, I'm going to list them off what they are. Okay, you got the bias pressure here. You got the bar entry pressure here. You got the trigger pressure here, which is making for the bar color. So you got the bar color in here. That particular bar color is being fed to you in real time with the pressure that's in the middle. The bottom here is the aggression pressure. Up here is your momentum bar pressure. All right, so all of these pressures and arrows, I again coded that information as well as that bar color. And then I gave you the volume as well. There's a volume associated with. I put that together for you. Just kind of the same information. You got the trigger in here. You got the aggression reversal in here. So on this hourly chart, I don't have a lot of data on it, but you got the aggression reversal in here. I just got one signal in there with the levels. Now, what am I going to tell you? Those are your close levels, I believe. Here, so in this chart here, I got your ignition reversal. Okay, where your ignition run here, and that's your IR. So in this chart, I have your ignition run. I have your fair value gap, the supply and demand, the map supply and demand zones. I'm not going to go through each and every last one of the indicators, but I do want to give you an idea of what you're looking at. And of course, the levels here is the extreme reversion levels. So these levels will try to help you know where it should turn from. You don't want these guys blowing past these levels. I'm gonna tell you that, or the bar coloring for that matter. You just don't want that. Now, when it comes to the pressure here, now this is the range pressure. Okay, there's a whole nother pressure. It's something different that is calculating. So in here, again, all of this information I put together, these levels you're seeing are static levels. All right, now you can use the constant lines indicator on NinjaTrader to get the levels onto the chart, but I do provide this template as well. You'll want to target the 55. That's really important. So the 55 is important. Of course, you got the 15, 25, 85, 95. Those are the cyclical places where it can turn. And then the range, this is free information I'm telling you right now. With the range is the 615 to 745. And then from here, you got your 1215 to 145. And again, it's very robust when it comes to the ranges as well as the static levels. You'll see that. You can just kind of gel together some of this information. This is what they did yesterday. And I believe I had ended the video. It was like over here, and then they took that massive decline on yesterday's information. So, but yeah, this information here is just to kind of help you know where they're at. That's all. Where it's likely that they would turn from. Now, when it comes to the chart up here, again, the most important thing to pay attention to is the map. Okay, the map is really important. It's telling you where the bar will potentially not close. Now, should it do it? And that's the thing that's important. It's adaptive. The zone is adaptive. It needs the information provided by the market itself to tell you probability. That's all. What's the probable instances where the market may not close, like that last bar. So if you notice, this green bar did not close outside of that zone. It'll give you an idea. That's all. Just an idea of what the extreme would be if the bar was to trade in that direction where it would potentially not close. I want to make sure that I say that to you. So if I'm telling you where the bar will retrace, okay, so this is your threshold for your retracement on your bar, okay, and I'm telling you, hey, in order for this to really get going, we need that mid above that high. Well, I think it only fair that I tell you where, I don't know, the bar can potentially close. So I'm giving you context from left to right when it comes to your chart where the market can become cyclical. And I'm not just leaving you to that. Okay. I'm actually going to tell you with a high degree of accuracy the chances of where your bar won't close. All right. So we're coming down to 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. They closed right at it. Okay. So they didn't close outside of that zone. Pretty good though. So this bar is strong because it closed right at the top of it. So that's pretty good. It just didn't close outside of it. So I'm not leaving no rock unturned, essentially, is what I'm telling you. You can have all of this information. I want to make sure I say this to you. You can have all of this for 200 bucks. There's no one online that's willing to give you education. I want to make sure that I tell you the education is really important, really significant. All right. Education is really important. I'm telling you how to trade for free. For free, thousands of dollars worth of information. Thousands. It's actually invaluable. It's priceless because they do all that they can to protect the clock. Okay, the thing at the bottom, right down here, they'll do all that they can to protect this to make sure that your timing is off. And I want to make sure that I can help you with your timing. Timing the market. And I don't want to leave you with just that either. That's not enough. What I want to do is help you know where the bar can actually potentially not close. That can help you as well. So if you're trying to get a target hit, if you're trying to exit a trade, it'll kind of give you an idea of what that can potentially look like. Really important. and I'm giving it all away. All this information I want to give away. This is my legacy. So I kind of want to exit a certain way. That's all. I've been in this space for many, many years, and I want to exit a certain way. That's all. I want to give you some information that you've never encountered. You'll never see it on YouTube. Again, this is this information is important. That's all I would tell you. It's very, very important, and it's not, again, it's not convoluted. It's simple. It's not complicated. The bars perform a certain way. The chart it's housed in will offer you opportunities. It's simple. It's right in front of you. Everything that's happening is happening right in front of you. And I just want to take the veil off of your eyes so you can actually see what is there. This is really simple stuff. It's not complicated, I can assure you. The most complicated part of trading, I want to say this to you, the most complicated part of trading is you controlling you. I want to say that again. The hardest part with trading is you controlling you. Whether you know what you're looking at or you don't know what you're looking at, control you. Because I can arm you with all of this information, all of these tools, and you still won't succeed. You cannot have any understanding in the market and actually place a winning trade. It's kind of backwards, right? Because you'll have a lot of information, a lot of tools, and still can't succeed. You don't know anything about the market and can place a winning trade. Knowing when to place the trade is what starts to make this a little bit of a challenge. That's all. Knowing when to do it just makes it a little bit challenging. That's all. And so the more that you do this, you'll have to control you. Okay. You'll just have to control you, because if you learn when to place the trade, you don't want to constantly expose your account. That's going to be important too. So if you learn to win, okay, I should place it now, because you're not the one creating the experience. The market is fluid. It can change on you. And so if you're net positive in a trade and you're up for the day and you keep interacting, because your tools can tell you when, that's really important. Your tools can tell you when, do it now, and you can be right momentarily, and the market can change because it's fluid. So it can change, and then all of a sudden you took a loss. But the tools told you to take the trade, or the understanding, the learning told you to take the trade. And momentarily it could be net positive. It can have you in positive territory on your position. But because the market is fluid, it can change. And so even if having, that's why I tell you, even if having the tools and the education, you can still end up losing, because the market is a fluid place. And I said, you can know nothing about trading and you can win. Because if at the moment you take the trade and know nothing about trading, if it wants to travel in that direction, if the market wants to head in that direction, you can still make money. And so that's what makes trading kind of complicated. That's all. Makes it a little complicated. But I have you know what the market is comprised of and how it works is simple. It's not hard. We know where it can potentially turn from. We have it mapped out on the chart already. It's in front of us. So we don't have to look back. We don't have to look left. Okay. So I just want to make sure that I state to you, you don't need the indicators. You don't need them. They're there and they're available to you should you want to have some assistance. That's all. Just some assistance, but it's just information. At the end of the day, it's just information. All right. So down here, they got back above the target, which is the 55. They came into the clusters here. This is the clusters, the 95 and the 85, and they're rotating. Will they stay down? I don't know. They're still beneath the center of the chart. This is not an uptrend yet, but it can become one. Okay, it can become one, but it's not one yet. All right, so all of this information, the time windows that I gave you, the 6:15, the 7:45, the 12:15, the 1:45, that's available for you tomorrow and every other day after that. It's really important. I've done my homework for many years, and I know that these time windows are very significant. You'll find most of the accumulations of the market activity happens in these windows, and they'll run away from them. Also, these price levels are very significant, primarily the 55, because that's the mid to the price scale. So if you're counting from 0 to 10, because 0 is incorporated into the numerical scale, although we don't tend to count like that. We start with 1. If you go from 0 to 10, the 5 is in the middle. Okay, so I just want to go ahead and say that to you. So they're always trying to get to the means, okay, and move away from it. So it's very simple. Everything that I'm explaining to you is very simple. You just have to look at the market and again, just be accepting of the fact that it's fluid and it can change. So how long you stay in a position may impact whether or not you become net positive on your trade. And so having some tools could potentially help you achieve that goal. That's all. And so the tools here, these things can assist you. I got arrows that plots right beside the bar. You got that as well. And I actually paid over $200 just for this functionality, just to have the functionality of these arrows plotting. And then I've coded them, based on the specifications in which I look for when it comes to the bar. Now, over 50 indicators, and again, I paid over $200 for one arrow, not both. One, I paid over $200 for that functionality, and I want to give you absolutely all of these tools. It's well over 50 indicators. You'll get templates, you'll get the market analyzer, the sound files, the chart scale, which is not seen by the public. All right, I got a chart scale that's not seen by the public. I want to give that to you too. And again, the market analyzer here has your threshold. Okay, so it has that threshold here. It has that threshold here for the daily as well as the one for today. Okay, so when I upload this video, I want you to go ahead and take a look and see where it is that we may end up for today. We got just slightly beneath the 53. So that 53 is right here, give or take 53. Okay, so we're right about here. That's the high, the pivot range high of the daily. All right, so yesterday's high, pivot range high, we got just right there. So if you're trying to find that daily bias, if you're trying to find that information there, it'll be inside of your market analyzer. I provided for you. And then, of course, you have today's information. So this is fluid. And this could help you if you're trying to swing trade and try to get in front of the activity. Again, I have the 1 second chart. So if you're someone that likes to scout, this chart here can absolutely help you. It can. You can see them really aggressive into this low. Your ignition run came in down here on this bottom. They tried the ignition, run it back down, kind of tapped that low a little bit, didn't go outside of it, came in, trapped those sellers, and here go the buy side coming back in. They pulled into that information. They took off, kind of came in again right in here, pushed up, broke that high, couldn't get back past here, leaned into it, and then made a new high. And then that's when they fell under that information. All right, so they fell under it. Still got your zone back here. They just didn't get all the way back here, but they still had this here. Let me just kind of throw this here so you can see it. They had that little area right here. Okay, so they had that here. They did utilize this one as well. And again, this is your 1 second trying to provide you this information. Trying to provide you this information on a 1 second chart. All right, really simple. They had this here. They leaned over into this and then they took off to the upside. So, well, actually, it's from down here. So, it formed here, they leaned into it, created that, and then they pushed up and then leaned back into that information there. All right, so they're trying to get back active. They're pulling right into this though. Let's see how this play out. Yeah, okay, yeah, they just blew it. All right, so they're back on the bottom side of this. They're on the bottom side of this right here. So they should be able to get through the high. So whatever your timing needs are, okay, whatever your timing needs are, I have loads of information to offer you. Very simple stuff. The goal, though, I want to tell you what the goal is. The goal is to have you be able to read this chart here with nothing on it, with no indicators, none whatsoever. I want to have you read how to look at the market with no indicators. They couldn't quite get there. I don't think this is going to work at some point. So they may come back, not today. They may come back tomorrow or the day after that. I don't know. But I don't like that bottom. I think they can get through it. So, but that's my time with you. Again, I just wanted to put some information in front of you to kind of give you an idea of the potential that's available to you here on the channel. So if you're new to the channel, I'm not so much referring to the people that's already here, but if you're new to the channel, I welcome you. Again, everything that you would need is here. I tried to touch on all the universal concepts. All right, so that's that threshold. We talked about it. We talked about that trend. We talked about the price action method and that chart scale. Okay. The universal close. All right. And that's dealing with where the bar will close. I will not teach that online. I won't. All right. I can't do that. But it's really simple. It's not complicated. The suite of indicators. I made this playlist because I do want those that come to the channel to know that there's some additional information available to you if you need it. So if you need it, if you just want a professional opinion on your chart, kind of over your shoulder, telling you that's a good trade, you can take that. Because again, I filter out a lot of this information. That's all it is. All of the information that the market is providing. I filter out what makes more sense and which one don't. You can have all of that for 200 bucks. There's people offering one indicator for over $200 online. I'm gonna offer over 50 for less than 200. Well, right at 200. Don't want to charge you a lot of money for what's, to me, what's simple. So when I look at the chart, I see simplicity. That's all I see. All right. So hope this have been really advantageous for you. And again, the workspace that's available as well. I give you the workspace. I give you templates. So you'll get this chart here. You'll get several charts, not just what you're seeing. You get a lot of charts with a lot of different indicators, and then you can just reference them and arrange them however you want to. You'll get this chart here. You'll get this chart here with the pressures. You'll get the 1 second chart. You'll get this as well. And again, all of this is just information, and I coded it for you, and I want to give it away. Again, this is my legacy. I'm trying to do something here, definitely for the people that actually need it and can appreciate what's there. All right, so that's my time with you. I wish you all the best with your trading. Take care.